So I was browsing the internet and I found this article by PC Games End. Now, we reviewed PC Games End tier list before, and we found some problematic stuff with that. So the title is Zhongli is the real star of the Genshin Impact 3.0 banner. Okay, first of all, how do you know Tighnari will not be good? How do you know Zhongli is already better than Tighnari? That is kinda sus. If the Genshin Impact 3.0 banner has you wondering whether you should go for Tighnari or Zhongli, the answer is probably Zhongli, and for a very good reason. Sure, tell us the reason. If you are planning to roll for a new character in the Genshin Impact 3.0 banner, you're probably wondering if it should be Tighnari or Zhongli, and the answer is almost unequivocally Zhongli, assuming you don't have him in your team yet already. Sure, the reclusive founder of Liure's biggest funeral home has been around the banner block a few times already and doesn't have that new update flash like Tighnari. But if you think you'll use the new Dendro element in any capacity, Zhongli is essential to your team in a way Tighnari can't quite match. So at least they acknowledge that, you know, new characters, new elements gonna bring players in, right? It's flashy. But then their last sentence, Zhongli is essential to your team in a way Tighnari can't quite match. How do you know already? How do you know? Tighnari's not even out. Sure, we've seen his skills. Even theoretically, there's leaks, right? But he's not out yet. You can't judge a book by its cover, right? And in this case, we don't even own the book. Tighnari's not even out. You can't criticize a character that's not out yet. That's absurd. But you know what? Let's say, hypothetically, Tighnari's out. We know everything about Tighnari, even though that's not the case. Zhongli, I'ma say it, hot take, but he is not essential to your team, right? It depends. If you like to be comfy and you don't really like to dodge, or you're bad at dodging like me, then yes, Zhongli is a massive upgrade to your roster. Zhongli is good in that sense. But if you're a good player, or you just care about dealing the biggest damage numbers, and you don't care if you have to retry over and over again in the Abyss, then Zhongli is not for you. There are better damage amplifiers than Zhongli. Alright, Zhongli is flexible, but he will not be the best in slot in a team if you're looking off pure damage numbers. Sure, he has some meta teams, right? He's the best in slot in some teams, maybe like a Xiao team with Zhongli, or maybe like Double Geo with Ningguang, or Ito maybe. But yeah, he's not essential to everybody. But that's what they're saying. Zhongli is essential to your team in a way Tighnari can't quite match, which is wrong. I'm gonna say it's wrong. Zhongli might be better than Tighnari. I don't know. Tighnari's not out yet. We'll see. But you can't just assume that right now on August 19th, 2022. Tighnari's big appeal is he's the first 5-star Dendro character, and appropriately, he even has Dendro damage as a secondary stat. That's impressive, but there's one significant limitation Hoyoverse hasn't really touched on yet. You can't swirl Dendro. You know what? We're gonna keep reading first, and then I'll say something. But we'll see. Maybe it's a joke. Maybe they're joking. Maybe they're like, aha, April Fools, you know? We got you. We really got you there, huh? That means your usual strategy of using an anima character with a Viridescent Venom artifact set to reduce enemy resistance to swirled elements just won't work with Tighnari. It's not a significant issue in normal play, but with the higher levels of the Spiral Abyss, any advantage you can get in battle to help shorten your completion time is welcome. Oh, they're serious. They actually think just because you can't swirl Dendro, Tighnari will be bad. Or I guess, if they're saying you can't swirl Dendro as a point, then Dendro characters won't be as good. Did they not watch the Genshin livestream? Did they not see that the new artifact set that's coming out reduces Dendro resistance? And saying that you can't swirl Dendro as an argument to why Tighnari is bad is absurd. It's just absurd. That goes double if Hoyoverse continues their trend from the 2.0 updates, where they added powerful bosses to the monthly Abyss roster. Okay, true. They added, well, I wouldn't say powerful, more annoying. Ruined Serpent, I'm looking at you. But, no, yeah, sure. 4-12 is just getting harder and harder, while 4-9, 10, 11 are staying the same. So, yeah, you might have to transition to meta characters to clear the abyss if your account's not that well off, or you're maybe a newer player. But still, it's a single player game. You only get 150 primos. That's less than a pull. And plus, Dendro is gonna be meta in the next abyss. Polioverse has pushed the abyss to favor newer characters. And so obviously it's gonna favor Dendro characters, and Dendro characters are gonna be indirectly buffed by the abyss, just because they gotta sell their Dendro characters, their new characters, right? Maybe not the strongest, but he's gonna be viable, just because the abyss will be kind of tailor-made for him and the newer characters. That's just how it goes. If it's Hu Tao banner, I don't know why I like to use Hu Tao a lot, but let's use her as an example. If it's a Hu Tao banner that's coming out, right, the abyss is gonna be single target, right? Maybe if it's like a Shao banner, it'll be more AoE, or like, you know what I mean. Right, there will be content in the Abyss 412 where that character shines. Into this gap steps Zhongli, the only character in Gadget Impact's current roster whose abilities reduce enemy resistance to all elements right out of the box, so to speak. The 20% reduction that Zhongli's Jade Shield triggers is only half of what you get from Viridescent Venerer. True, but again, that set won't work with Dendro anyway. Okay, Dendro has a set that reduces, so it reduces more, 30%, and Zhongli's 20%. Zhongli's 20% debuff is something at least. Yeah, sure, it's something at least, but it's not gonna be the best, right? Even if Dendro can't be swirled, well then, you have the artifact set. Should you opt for Zhongli and not get Tighnari later, you're not really missing out and definitely shouldn't spend money to try and get both. True, Tighnari will be added to standard banner, right? So you don't have to pull for Tighnari because you'll probably get him eventually. You know, there's a chance that you'll never get him, right? Because he's a standard banner character. You're not guaranteed a standard banner character, but they always come somehow, some way, maybe, hopefully. He's gonna be standard banner, so you have a chance to get him. You don't have to pull him. I wouldn't recommend pulling him, even if he's like super meta. Like, he's gonna be out of the standard banner 3.1, so you'll have a chance there. And there's gonna be more Dendro characters out in the line, so you'll be fine. But then again, that doesn't mean you should pull for Zhongli. You could just not pull for anything and save your primos. Pull for a character you actually want. If you want Zhongli, go ahead, pull all for him. No one's stopping you. It depends on you and what you want. Having him on your team isn't something you have to strive for unless you can't live without creating the best possible combinations. They're like half correct, half wrong. And that half wrong is very wrong. Now sure, they're correct, right? Having him on your team isn't something you have to strive for. True, very true. But then you have, unless you can't live without creating the best possible combinations. False, very false. Zhongli does not create the best possible combinations. It's like they're flaming you for not wanting Zhongli. It's like, yeah, sure, you don't have to pull him. You'll only just be missing out on the best possible team. Yeah, you'll just be missing out on the character that makes your team the best. Yeah, you don't have to pull him at all. That's messed up. Zhongli's role is like, it's very practically valuable, like in a practical sense. Numbers sense, Zhongli doesn't do well, but on the practical side, then Zhongli shines a lot. But even then, he's not a must-have. It's so passive-aggressive. It's so passive-aggressive. That is the article by PC Games N, where Zhongli is the real star. Very false. But, you know, we got a good laugh out of it. It was funny. Their arguments were totally ridiculous. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Smash like, subscribe, all that stuff. I really appreciate the support on this channel lately. I'll see you later.